Good morning. Thanks for being here. I'm Sheriff Carmine Marceno. December is National 3D Month, Drinking, Drugs, and Distracted Driving. In Lee County, we added a fourth D for drowsy driving. Driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs continues to be the most often committed and deadliest crime in America. Together with the Florida Highway Patrol, Fort Myers Police Department, the Cape Coral Police Department, and the Lee County Trauma Center, we want to bring awareness to the death and injuries occurring on our roadways. We want to make the holidays safer time on our roads, and distracted driving is anything that takes your eyes off the road, hands off the wheel, and your mind off driving. According to the NHTSA, in 2023, distracted driving claimed 3,275 lives. Approximately 20% of those killed in distracted driving related crashes were people outside the vehicle, like pedestrians or cyclists. Different types of distracted driving are visually taking your eyes off the road, manual, taking your hands off the wheel, and cognitive, thinking about anything other than driving. Texting requires all three types of distraction, making it most dangerous for distracted driving. A car traveling at 55 miles an hour covers more than 80 feet per second. Sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for about 4.5 seconds. At 55 miles an hour, that's like driving the length of an entire football field with your eyes closed. To avoid a crash, a driver must perceive a hazard, react, and give the vehicle time to stop. Even a focused driver will cover a large distance before coming to a complete stop. Next, I'd like to introduce Major Bill Harris from the Florida Highway Patrol to talk about drunk driving. Major.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Drinking to the point of impairment or even buzz driving destroys your judgment. It slows your thinking and leads to bad decisions. An average car weighs 4,000 pounds, and gasoline, which is flammable, makes it go. When you combine a drunk with a big, heavy car and gasoline, the likelihood of one of two things will happen. One, your irresponsible drunk will damage someone's property, injure someone, or God forbid, kill somebody. Or two, the drunk will meet a state trooper, and that meeting will not end well, as your car will be stopped, you'll be placed in handcuffs, and your license will be suspended. Sadly, all of our loved ones are at risk because all of our family use public roadways. So this is just one thing that affects all of us. Looking back to 2025, troopers in our area have arrested hundreds of drunks, to include drunks driving 3 times over the legal limit, drunks speeding more than 100 miles an hour, drunks fleeing from law enforcement, drunks racing, drunks driving with no headlights, drunks driving the wrong way, drunks damaging other people's property, drunk causing injuries to others, and drunk causing death. This is not just a Southwest Florida problem. Across our country, 34 people die in drunk driving crashes every day. When you do the math, that's one person every 42 minutes. And again, sadly, every single one of them, and let me say it again, every single one of them is 100% preventable. It is your choice to get behind the wheel of a vehicle after you've been drinking. And to be blunt, nowadays there are so many rideshare avenues that cost the price of a drink or two. So our holiday message to all drunk drivers: if you're being naughty, you will be held accountable, period. Additionally, I would like to send a holiday message to the super speeders as well. Driving your car at speeds of 50 miles over the posted speed limit or speeding over 100 miles an hour will not be tolerated. Slow down. Extreme driving is very dangerous. It's not a game. We will stop your car, we will tow your car, and we will take you to jail. Since July 1st, state troopers have stopped hundreds of super speeders, and we will continue to remove those drivers from our roadways over the holidays and into the New Year's. So in closing, in the spirit of holidays, let me steer all motorists towards some good Santa Claus advice. He sees you when you're speeding. He knows when you're drunk or awake. He knows if you've been bad or good. So slow down, stay awake, and drive sober, for goodness sake. Don't be a Grinch. Please give the gift of safety this year. It is your gift. It is a gift to your family, and it is a gift to all of us. Happy holidays.
Good morning, and thank you for being here for the 4D press conference. I'm Captain Walt Mitchell with the Fort Myers Police Department. I'm joined today by our local law enforcement partners, and together we share one goal: keeping our roads safe from impaired drivers. When we talk about drug driving, we're not just talking about illegal drugs. This includes prescription medication, over-the-counter drugs, and any substance that affects your ability to drive safely. Whether it's legal or not, driving impaired is against the law in every state, including right here in Florida. Even where marijuana laws have changed, it's still illegal and dangerous to drive under its influence. Our local trauma data tells a story. Over the past 3 years, trauma patients have consistently tested positive for drugs. In 2023, 11% had cocaine in their system and 45% had marijuana. In 2024, that rose to 47% for marijuana. And this year, we're seeing nearly the same numbers. These are people ending up in the trauma center because of impaired decisions. Drugs affect everyone differently, but one thing is clear: they're all making driving unsafe. Alcohol, marijuana, and other substances slow your reaction time and judgment. Stimulants like cocaine and methamphetamine can make drivers more aggressive. Even prescription and over-the-counter medications can cause drowsiness or dizziness. And when people mix substances, those effects multiply. That's why all of us standing here today are asking the community to make smart choices like plan for a sober ride home, don't let friends drive if they're under the influence. If you're hosting a party, make sure everyone leaves safely. And always wear your seatbelt. It's the best protection you can have. Every one of us up here is committed to preventing impaired driving and saving lives. But real change starts with the choices we all make before getting behind the wheel. Thank you and have a great day. And I want to remind everybody from FMPD that traffic safety is public safety. All right, thank you.
Good morning. I'm Anthony Sizemore. I'm the police chief with the Cape Coral Police Department. And as the sheriff mentioned, there's a fourth D that's often overlooked or forgotten, but just as deadly, and that's drowsy driving. And in today's hurried society, one of the first things that gets sacrificed is your sleep. Adequate rest is necessary to operate a vehicle safely. And statistics from NHTSA indicate that 1 in 25 drivers have admitted to falling asleep at the wheel, and that's just those who have admitted it. In fact, over 6,000 Americans lost their lives in crashes that were the result of drowsy driving. And drowsy driving is tricky because it can sneak up on you. The symptoms will arise without you even knowing, and you can experience what is called microsleep, which are periods of 4 to 5 seconds where you doze off. And at the highway speeds, like the sheriff mentioned, you could be traveling at least the length of a football field with your eyes closed and asleep. So what can be done? Well, it jives with drugged driving, so make sure that any prescription medication that you're on, if it induces drowsiness, to be very careful and not drive when you're under the influence or taking prescription narcotics. If you're going to be taking a long road trip, please ensure that you have adequate rest the night before. A road trip of 20 hours or more is the equivalent of a 0.08 blood alcohol level on your body. Teenagers require even more rest than adults. So my advice to you is plan any trips that you're going to take. Any long trip, build in every 2 to 3 hours to pull over, stretch your legs, and recuperate and get your mind right. Because driving drowsy can be just as deadly as the other 3 Ds that we talk about, especially at the holidays when longer road trips are on everybody's menu. Please be safe and have a safe holiday on our roadway. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Zach with the Trauma Center. So, driving is the most dangerous thing that we do. And we've heard from all the accounts here. It's driving is a privilege, and everyone is responsible to keep our roads safe. According to our crash data, there's been over 14,700 crashes in 2024, 125 deaths in 2024, and over 9,000 injuries that we've seen at the trauma center. So far, as of beginning of October in 2025, there have been over 10,000 crashes. We've seen over 80 deaths and over 6,500 injuries. We've all heard of the 4Ds already, as everyone has stated. We have drunk, drugged, drowsy, and distracted driving. At this time, we typically see around 80% of our trauma patients with alcohol or drugs in their system. Marijuana and alcohol are the two most commonly seen substances in our trauma system. MVCs range anywhere from number 1 to 2 for the leading cause of our trauma activations. It can happen to anyone and only takes a matter of seconds. Speed kills. Traveling 30 miles per hour, you have a 45% chance of killing a pedestrian if you strike them. At 40 miles an hour, you have an 85% chance of killing a pedestrian. While heading out shopping or going to holiday parties, stay focused on the road, watch for pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorcyclists. In the parking lots, watch for children, watch for people not paying attention. It's all our responsibility. If you are a pedestrian and there's not a sidewalk, walk towards traffic so that you can see. Don't assume drivers see you. Wear bright clothing to stand out and not hide in the dark. If you're a bicyclist, you travel with traffic and follow the same traffic rules. As a driver, you need to keep your eyes on the road, hands on the wheel, and always wear your seatbelt. Remember, seatbelts save lives. Local law enforcement and the Lee Health Trauma Center wish everyone a happy, healthy, and most importantly, safe holiday. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here today. I want to make our message known. The law enforcement leaders standing before you today are working together to make our roadways safer. I can't thank them enough for their partnership. We hope you all have a safe and happy holiday season. We'll take some questions.
You mentioned some percentages, 11% had cocaine, 47% had marijuana, of those that were trauma awarded. Was that in the city of Fort Myers or countywide? Just to make sure we attribute the numbers.
Doc, you want to take that question, sir?
Yeah, so our numbers of around 80% for drugs and alcohol, that is in Lee County, that come into our trauma center. So that does include Collier County and the neighboring counties, but includes our district of Southwest Florida.
And how many counties does it include, just so we
Is there 5?
I think there's 5. Yeah.
Folks, the grids are busier than ever, but I can tell you, with that, everyone needs to help this team be successful, and success is saving lives and safety. I'm very blessed to work with the best of the best, and we will be working as one team moving forward to ensure the safety of everyone. Thanks for being here today.